science in libraries?
Oh, it just really kind of it helps. Citizen science really helps me engage with the world around me. I'm a new resident to Washington State. I made a complete change from living in Arizona to the Pacific Northwest. So it's kind of helping me reintroduce my environment. I've been spending a lot of time observing pollinators this summer, and we, really tried hard to make our property more welcoming to them. And of course, I love libraries because I've been going to libraries and working in libraries for a good part of my life.
Great. And we're officially live on YouTube now. Also, to kind of kick us off, Kimmy, I'd love if you could quickly introduce yourself and maybe give us a little summary of what we did yesterday and what your library's done with citizen science so far. So I'll let Kimmy quickly introduce herself.
So yesterday was our first session that we had with SciStarter, and Caroline, you introduced us to two citizen science projects. So one was Eterna, and that was one that they kind of gamified a project, and it would help in like RNA research, so kind of in the health field. And then the other one that we went over is Debris Tracker, and that actually is tracking just trash and garbage and things that you see outside. So that's actually one that I've been using with my kids. So that's been a fun one for us. Citizen science is something that's new to our library. In these times where we can't have our normal volunteer work, we think this is something that's great that people can get involved with and help out. So we're very excited about the program yesterday, and we're excited today to share with more people.
Awesome, awesome. And the recording of the session will be available later as well. So that's one of the great things about it. Even though, we have a few people in the room with us right now, maybe a few people watching on YouTube, this will be available to volunteers in perpetuity. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen to kind of kick us off today. So welcome, St. Charles Library. So we have some people in the room. I'm just going to do a quick poll. I just want to know if they've ever done citizen science before. And I think I recognize one of the names from yesterday's event. So the answer for you is probably yes, since you were with us yesterday. But I'll let you vote and decide. Give you a chance to get those votes in. And this is a very interactive style. We have 2 no's. Okay, good to know. That's all good. So I'm going to end the poll. I'm going to share those results. So the majority of the people in the room with us today on Zoom have not done citizen science before. That's super important to know. All right, next up, we just want to know a little bit about you. So we want to know, are you an aspiring citizen scientist? Are you a parent of an aspiring citizen scientist? Are you a teacher, an educator, a troop leader, etc.? Are you a librarian or part of a library staff? Are you a researcher or a project leader? Are you just a bored person on the internet? Are you a patron of St. Charles Library? Are you none of these? Just please select all that apply, or select what resonates the most with you. If you're, and I think we all are aspiring citizen scientists, why else would we be here? But if you're a bored person on the internet, that's okay too. No matter who you are, citizen science is for you, and it's something that you can do. It looks like we have a library staff member in the room with us today. We have a patron from St. Charles Library in the room with us today. Very, very cool. Awesome stuff. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end this poll and share those results. So great, great, great. I'm so glad you all are here. So now I'm going to pass the mic to my colleague Kimmy from the St. Charles Library to talk about what's going on at St. Charles Public Library. Kimmy, take it away.
Okay, so I know one of our viewers was here yesterday, so she already heard this, but we do have a patron on the line. So we have a lot of exciting stuff going on at the library. As you probably know, that the construction is going on right now, and we're renovating our library, trying to make it big, wonderful, new, state-of-the-art. So we're all very excited about that. Our temporary location is at the Haynes Middle School. And you can come in now by appointment, browse our collection. We still have our services available if you need to do a notary or if you need to use our computer lab, that is available to you. A very cool thing we have is our hold pickup service. It's been very, very popular. You can call us up, put some books on hold, and make an appointment just to come and pick it up in the vestibule. So actually, if you don't even want to come into the library, that's fine. It'll be there waiting for you. And then we also have a ton of virtual programs right now set up for all ages, young, old, computer programs, cooking, all different types of things. So please check out our website for our list of programs that we have. So again, I am the volunteer coordinator at the library. Right now, our limited space, we're not able to house our normal volunteer activities. So this we found, I was very excited to find Caroline and SciStarter, and we've been working with them just to try to bring this program to the library to let people know about. So we're encouraging our staff and our patrons, the community, students. So students that need volunteer credit for school, we'd love for you to join one of these projects. And there's so many different projects too that will interest, everybody. So you can be out in, outside, social distancing, you can go for walks, be out in nature. But if you want to just stay home, there's a ton of projects where you can just do online. So there really is something for everybody. That's what makes it so exciting, is that everybody can get involved. And you don't have to be a scientist or, a doctor or anything like that. Just regular people can get involved. So today we're very excited to share what citizen science has, and hopefully you'll be interested and want to join.
Awesome. Thank you, Kimmy. And as Kimmy said, I know some of you were here yesterday, but she made that awesome list on SciStarter, and we'll go over that in just a second. And for those of you who were here yesterday, or who may have watched the recording from yesterday, it might be a little bit of a refresher. But Kimmy is your go-to person for volunteering at St. Charles Public Library with citizen science. And at SciStarter, of course, we're always here to talk to you about your citizen science ideas, thoughts, etc. So thank you so much, Kimmy. So you all may be wondering, what is citizen science? At SciStarter, we think of citizen science as a collaboration between scientists and those of us who are curious, concerned, and motivated to make a difference. So citizen science is as broad as science itself. It's everything from astronomy to health to environmental science to everything in between. That's the beauty of it. It's any way a member of the public can be meaningfully involved in the scientific enterprise. So this can be through collecting data and submitting those observations. It can be doing analysis like you'll be doing tonight with the Stall Catchers Project. It can be using your own local expertise to say what's strange about climate and weather near you. It can be, just saying, it's really strange that this animal is migrating at this time of year. Usually they migrate at a different time of year. So citizen science, it allows you to turn your own curiosity into real world impact to increase our knowledge of the world. And at SciStarter, our job is to connect you to those opportunities. SciStarter has thousands of citizen science projects across all different disciplines, different citizen science events like the one that you're in right now, citizen science tools like a sky quality meter to measure light pollution in the night sky. All of these things listed on SciStarter for you to discover and learn and be able to volunteer. But it can be a little overwhelming, right? You're able to search all these different opportunities, like put in different fields, look for things near you, things you can do on a hike. These are all different search fields you can use, but you might think, I don't really want to do that. I just want to have like a manageable way to get started. Well, Kimmy is here for you because she made this list, scistarter.org/list 183, for you to find some projects that she hand selected for you. And on this page, if you go to that URL, scistarter.org/list /list183, you can actually make your SciStarter account, access a tutorial to introduce you to citizen science, get Kimmy's contact info if you need help. If you're a St. Charles Library patron and you want Kimmy's help, her contact info is on that page, and all these different projects she picked. And these projects are actually SciStarter affiliate projects, so you're able to track the number and the frequency of your contributions in your SciStarter dashboard. What does that mean? It means that when you, for example, go to IC Change and you make an IC Change account, if you use the same email address for that project that you use to make your SciStarter account, you're able to go into your SciStarter dashboard and see high-level statistics of your contributions. So you're able to see of those contributions. And if you come through Kimmy's list, you are giving permission to share those contribution statistics with Kimmy, so she could either estimate volunteer hours or give you credit for your volunteer time. So there are thousands of projects on SciStarter. Only about 100 of them are SciStarter affiliates, and many of the projects that Kimmy chose to put on her list for you to discover are SciStarter affiliates that allow you to keep track of all that in your dashboard. And I mentioned that tutorial, it's on that page as well. So scistarter.org/list/183. If you go to the bottom of that, it's a tutorial that you can click through. There are quizzes, there are videos, you get a certificate at the end. And it tells you the what, the how, the who, and the why of citizen science. And it's meant for all age levels. So if you're an adult, you can do this tutorial and get something out of it. If you're a student, you can do this tutorial and get something out of it. It's meant to be accessible to everybody. It was created in partnership with the National Library of Medicine and Arizona State University. And I really enjoy it, even though I know a lot about citizen science now. I do it all the time. I'm really passionate about it. This tutorial still taught me some new things. So no matter what level you're at, if you're a complete beginner or you're an old pro, this tutorial will be helpful for you. As Kimmy mentioned yesterday, we talked about the Eterna project, which is on her list. So you can explore it at your own leisure by going to Kimmy's list and clicking on Eterna and then going to Eterna to get started. But it's a project that allows you to solve puzzles to help design molecular medicines. And if you want more info about that, you can watch yesterday's recording on SciStarter's YouTube channel. We also talked about the Debris Tracker project, which is an app where when you download it, you can go outside and start tracking litter and debris near you to help this project, wherever you are, if you're on the coast, if you're inland, anywhere in the world, help them understand the problem of plastic pollution. They're trying to identify those hotspots for further study. So even if you don't see any pollution, you could submit an observation to this app and really help these researchers understand this global problem of debris. So I really recommend the Debris Tracker project. It's a really great project. And that's what the app looks like. That's the interface. So you're able to say, I saw this many plastic bags, I saw bottles, I saw cigarettes, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen for just a sec. Robin said, Debris Tracker is a great research project to do as a family. That is the truth. So I'm going to share my screen again. I'm going to share my computer sound so I can play this video from the IC Change project. IC Change is another project that Kimmy put on her list, and it's a project we're going to introduce you to today. So I'm going to go ahead and play it so you can hear from the founder of IC Change about what your observations mean.
When it comes to eyeing the weather, the best expert isn't the guy on TV, and it's not radar or satellite, it's you. Weather impacts everyone and everything, so when it changes, we need to know how it's changing us and our communities. My name is Julia Kamari-Drapkin, and I'm the founder of IC Change. IC Change empowers you to be a climate scientist in your community and investigate how weather and climate are impacting the environment and daily life where you live. Sign up on icchange.org. You can use a computer or our mobile apps. You can tell us a story or take pictures of what's changing. Think of it like an Earth selfie. Each sighting on IC Change is synced to NASA satellite data and broadcast to our community of scientists, journalists, and other community members to investigate the bigger picture trends. What animals and plants do you see in your backyard today? When it's too hot to play, what do you want to do instead? What do you or your neighbors do when there's not enough rain? Or what happens when there's too much? Are bugs out biting, and is it weird to see them at this time of year? Not sure what to observe? Take a look at the investigations that we have posted to get started. Or you can talk to your neighbors and report if they've seen change. Definitely be curious about what you're seeing. We'll connect your questions to scientists and report back what we hear. And don't forget, when you set up your profile, be sure to sync it to your SciStarter account. Even the smallest changes can help us understand the bigger picture ones. So we can't wait to see what you see change.
I thought she did such a great job with the video. And the cool thing about it is since we made that video, IC Change actually changed their affiliate status to make it so it's automatic. So if you sign up with the same email on SciStarter and on IC Change, then everything will track automatically in your dashboard. So what is IC Change? It's a global community of people like you who are documenting the real world effects of climate change and contributing to solutions. And there are a lot of different ways to do this, but the number one thing you need to do is you need to make that account. You need to post what you see and then learn from others. And there's really no way to do this wrong. If you literally just report what you see, you're doing a great job. If you just take a picture and you post it and give some context, that's amazing. The thing about IC Change is they're looking for the qualitative observations. So they're looking for you to give context about the effect on you of these changes. So you might say, it's hotter than usual and I'm having trouble concentrating. That's super helpful. That's qualitative data about the human impact of these weather and climate changes. If they know that you're the expert in your own backyard. So if you've been living in a place for a little while and you're like, wow, it's raining way more than usual, post that on IC Change. That's a valuable observation. And they're able to sync those observations to quantitative data from satellites and from NASA, as well as to resiliency projects they have in different areas like New Orleans, California, and other places like Miami, for example. They're doing a flooding resiliency project right now. They work with local officials to help make communities stronger. So you can make your community a hub for IC Change. So I mentioned a few of those. Los Angeles, California, they did an investigation about the future of urban trees. They connected the hazard of drought that's getting worse with increased climate change. That's something that's been happening with the weather. It's not raining as much. They're in a drought. The plants are suffering. People posted that on IC Change. And they were able to have some robust research results from that. New Orleans, Louisiana, they're not only studying stormwater and flooding, but they're also studying heat waves. And that's super important. They're really plugged in with the local government there to actually make resiliency adaptations, to build things to help people weather the storm, so to speak, and to lessen the harm of these weather changes. And then the global community, people all over the world post to IC Change. There's someone in, I think, Tokyo who posts pretty much every day, which is just so amazing to me. I'm actually going to exit my presentation now because I'm going to take you to Kimmy's list to show you how you would get started. So we go to scistarter.org/list/183. That's Kimmy's number. So St. Charles Public Library volunteers. And I love that she put the information for the Zoom call that you are on right now. You can scroll down to, oh, well, it's actually the second one. So you can click IC Change. And oh, wait, Kimmy put a note on there. Let's see what note she said. She said, library volunteer notes. All ages under 13 must work with an adult, need smartphone or camera, computer, internet to upload pictures. Easy level. I love that Kimmy labeled these at different levels, like easy, medium, and easy and medium. Those are good projects to get people started for sure. And then you click on IC Change. And I've already made my SciStarter account, so I'm going to log in. But I could have also logged in on Kimmy's page. So I'm logged out right now. If I didn't have an account yet, I can make my account here if I wanted to. And there's that tutorial we mentioned. I can explore that too. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to log in because I have a SciStarter account. And I'm going to click IC Change. I'm going to go ahead and visit it. I already have an IC Change account, but I could sign up with the same email I have for SciStarter if I needed to. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. And as you can see, it's the same email I have for SciStarter. They've made a few updates. Very cool. I love that they do that. And I can actually go through my feed and see different people's sightings. So it can be anything you observe in the world for climate and weather. You can even take observations from your window and just say what you see outside. So people are saying weather is getting cooler and trees are starting to change color. And you can actually flag changes as unusual. So this person in Connecticut said, still very, very dry. We had some rain, but not much. There were storms. And as you can see, they don't give your exact location. So even if you enter your address in here, they anonymize it for the sake of your privacy. They go a little bit broader, so you don't have to worry about if you're taking a picture of outside your apartment, for example, let's say the road outside has flooded. You wouldn't have to worry about giving personal information or potentially getting in trouble with your landlord because you're not giving your exact address. So all these amazing things you can explore, people documenting different hazards in their community. This woman wrote in Spanish, which I think is really cool. I See Change empowers people of all languages to write about what they're experiencing and to express themselves. And it can be as simple as just posting a picture of what you see. This is and they have different investigations. So if you really want to hone in on like extreme heat, for example, and give observations of how hot it's getting, or you want to say how you're coping with extreme heat, you could post to this every day if you wanted to give really robust data to the I See Change project. I can show you some of my sightings. So I wrote sunny day outside, not too hot, but I may just be acclimated by now to high temperatures. And I think so, because it was 95 degrees Fahrenheit that day. And I was like, oh, it's cool. Has been raining a lot lately, though, so it wasn't unusual, so I noted that. And someone commented on my observation. What a view. It looks like a vacation to me. I bet all the green space in the water helps keep heat more manageable, too. So that's really cool. And I need to change my location. I just moved from DC back to Florida, but I said, Floridian living the dream in Indian Harbor Beach, using I See Change to document my new neighborhood. So I urge you to make an I See Change account and start posting what you see change, because your perspective is important. What you notice as unusual, or whatever context you want to give about your lived experience, it really matters, and it's very valuable qualitative data. So we have to go beyond the numbers, and we also have to give your stories. And if you want to explore other people's I See Change, as we mentioned on that last slide, they really have some amazing investigations that they're able to use your data to create. So a lot of people have been contributing North Carolina data. So they're helping track flooding and climate change, and I See Change is able to publish research results about that. And I really urge you to explore some of these amazing stories on that website. So I'm going to stop sharing for a sec. I'm going to see if there are any questions about I See Change. Robin said in the chat, I posted the I See Change when air quality in Washington was really bad during the September wildfires in California, Washington, and Oregon. Yeah, that's a perfect example of something you'd post on I See Change. Any questions? We're going to let those questions come in. No observation is too small. I really just want to reiterate that every observation matters. All right, well, if there aren't any questions to get us on I See Change, we'll get those at the end. I'll go back to the presentation. So that covers I See Change. That's how you make an observation. And that's something you can do outside, you can do from your window. It's a very flexible project. You could do it every day if you wanted to. Now this is Stall Catchers, another project you can do every day, but it's a little bit different. Let me make sure my sound is sharing. There we go, share computer sound. I'm gonna let Pietro Michelucci, the creator of Stall Catchers, tell you a little bit about it.
Hi, my name is Pietro Michelucci, and I lead the Eyes on Owls project, a citizen science project to speed up Alzheimer's disease research. But we need your help. So we created an online game called Stall Catchers. The basic idea is this. We give you a virtual microscope, and through this online microscope, you look inside the brain of a mouse, in particular at the blood vessels in the mouse brain. And then we draw an outline around one of these blood vessels and ask you a simple question. Is the blood in that blood vessel flowing, or is it stuck? When it's stuck, we call it a stall, which is why we call the game Stall Catchers. So that's the basic idea. We show you a blood vessel and you tell us if you think it's flowing or stalled. By playing Stall Catchers, you join a supportive community of catchers, and you can learn about Alzheimer's disease in the process and hopefully also have a bit of fun. So we hope you'll give it a try and help us speed up Alzheimer's research. Thanks.
Pietro's so great. He does a ton of events with us. So if you ever wanted to join another event and talk to him like person to person, you're more than welcome to. Or maybe if Kimmy, if your library starts doing a lot of stall catchers, we could have Pietro zoom in and do a special Q&A with the volunteers. So I'm going to give you some context on stall catchers. So there's researchers at Cornell University found that there's 30% less blood flow in the brain of someone with Alzheimer's disease. And the reason for that is stalls, clogged blood vessels in the brain. So this was a very important research result. It's almost a paradigm shift, because then they're able to hone in on different possible treatments or ways to approach this disease. They're able to actually have something that they can hone in on, the stalls. If they get rid of those stalls, maybe they can increase memory. Restoring blood flow restores memory and reduces other symptoms in mice. So they've been studying these mice, and they're trying to really get robust results there so they could make changes in humans. But they had so much data, right? All these mice that they were studying in their brains, looking at the blood vessels, analyzing videos of the brains of mice. It was just taking a really long time. There's the mouse. Oh, it's cute. Poor thing. It could take 6 to 12 months to answer one research question in the lab by watching these videos of mouse brains and annotating these blood vessels, whether or not they're stalled or flowing as they try different treatments. It was just taking forever, and they realized we can use the power of the crowd. We can leverage these people who want to help, who want to volunteer their time, who want to do real scientific research and make these annotations to speed up the search for a cure to Alzheimer's disease. So that's where stall catchers comes in. Pietro Michelucci and his team, they started this project. They partnered with those researchers at Cornell University to turn the analysis into a game. They basically were making it so you could annotate whether or not a blood vessel is stalled or flowing in a gamified interface where you can get points to have like a standard way to do this analysis. And I love the points aspect. I love the fact that you can be on teams and you can see how many videos you can analyze and how often your video analysis agrees with the analysis of others, to have kind of a friendly competition as you do this research. So some quick high-level statistics about stall catchers. There are more than 28,000 catchers. 50 to 100 of them playing every day. So anytime you go to stall catchers and you log on, you're in good company. You can look to the side and you can see that chat box going off of people all around the world playing alongside you. It speeds up the research by 5 times. That's huge. That means that you can really be part of something. If you're passionate about health research and making a difference and coming up with cures to diseases, you can literally be a part of speeding that up. And now it only takes 1 to 2 months per research question, when before it would take 6 to 12 months. I can't emphasize enough how important citizen scientists are in this process. So this is what it looks like. That's a video of a mouse brain. And you can play the videos on a loop, or you can kind of slow it down like with that cursor at the bottom. You look at the circled area and you try to look for a persistent black spot in the flow of white that doesn't move. And when you see a persistent black spot in the flow of white not moving, you know that's a stall, and you're able to mark it as stalled and then click on that stall. And stall catchers, it's so clever because you don't have to worry about being wrong. You know, you can you don't have to worry about being wrong. You are able to know that you can count on your fellow people, your fellow analysis. So like if you don't get it right, the crowd will get it right. And there are certain machine learning techniques. So the further you go in the game and the better you get at it, the more it weighs your analysis. So you can play guilt-free, fear-free. You are just part of a team helping contribute your thoughts. And they've already solved major research questions. So stall catchers contributors have been in the major journals like Nature, one of the most important scientific journals. You can see right here, stall catchers contributors are cited as co-authors. And you don't have to know all the details about the science to make a meaningful difference. You just have to know the steps of how to make that analysis. You have to know how to identify a stall. And then the researchers are able to extrapolate out from your analysis these sciencey results, which make a big difference in eventually creating cures or understanding the disease more. And I think the stall catchers team, they're really the gold standard of communicating these results in plain language. So these papers right here, they're written for other scientists, they're kind of complicated, but on stall catchers on their blog, each paper they publish where they cite the stall catchers contributors as co-authors because of their analysis and hard research work on these projects, they'll explain in plain English what this actually means and what you helped discover. So high-fat diet worsens pathology and impairment in Alzheimer's mouse model, but not by synergistically decreasing cerebral blood flow. Wow, that's a mouthful. But on stall catchers, I could go to the blog and they would explain that to me in a way I could understand. So very cool stuff. And the ultimate goal of stall catchers is to piece together a molecular pathway for reduced blood flow in Alzheimer's. So they're really trying to understand the disease more to help design cures. So I'm going to exit my presentation now, and we're going to do some stall catchers together. But before I do, I'm just going to stop sharing. I want to see if there are any questions so far. If anything you saw is confusing or anything you saw that intrigues you, we are here for you. This is your event, and we want to make sure that we're addressing what you want us to address.
I just think that it's so cool that, don't have the scientific mind, but the way that they put this all together in this game type of format that I can do. And I feel like I am, contributing, how you're saying that if people play this game and spend a little bit of time on it, it can help so much and speed up the research that, would have taken them so much longer. So I think this is a great one. I would love to see more people involved with this and maybe do, maybe a library competition, or because I know you have teams, right?
Yeah, we do. You know what? Let's go ahead and dive in. I'll share my screen again. So we're going to go back to the list that Kimmy made. So scistarter.org/list/183. And Kimmy, I think it's time to make a team for your library. So we have stall catchers. We can go ahead and participate. So it's just loading, give it a sec. So continue the stall catchers. Right now, I'm on Team Verizon Media, but there are lots of different teams and a lot of library teams too. So I'm going to join the LAPL library team because they have a lot of points. So now I'm on Team LAPL. And you can make different leagues. So if you wanted to compete against other libraries, you can make a league called like Libraries of Illinois, and then you could all have teams. So as you can see, the LAPL team has lots of members. And we actually did a library competition, a huge one in 2019, and LAPL beat out a bunch of other libraries. So everybody logged on at the same hour and competed. I know Robin, who's on the line, her library in Gilbert, Arizona had a team, for example, and they actually had a super user volunteer named Peg, who was just a rock star and got so many points. But you could make your team and compete against other libraries if you wanted. Or if we have some educators on the line, you can make your team and compete against other classrooms. You just have to be over the age of 13 to participate. Anyone who's younger than that, they'd need to participate alongside a parent or a guardian. So this is the stall catchers interface. We have 5 other catchers online with us right now, which is great. And as you can see, people are chatting in the chat box, which I love. And I love being able to see familiar names. Carol, she is the nicest person. She goes by Mima, and she is a super catcher. As you can see, she's in the lead right now. And she's a grandma. She is just a lovely woman, and she is someone who does stall catchers every day. I actually talked to her. I interviewed her for a blog post I did a while back, and she mentioned that the reason she got involved with stall catchers is she's really into hidden gem phone games. So she would, just play games for fun. But then she realized that stall catchers is similar to the games that she was playing, but it's for a good cause. So she's able to spend her spare time doing something she enjoys that helps her relax, but also contributes to really important research. So this is the video I mentioned. This is a video of a mouse brain. And as you can see, it plays on a loop, but you can stop it and go a little bit slower if you want to. And you want to look at the circled area and the blood vessels in that circled area. And if you see in the flows of white any persistent black spots that don't move, those are stalls. This one's flowing. It's not really the best example. Trying to find a stall. I was doing this the other day. It was so embarrassing. I mean, the laws of probability, right? Sometimes you're just going to get a bunch of flows in a row. And I was trying to show someone a stall, and we did like 20 videos, and they were all flowing. We just couldn't get a good example. But stall catchers is also one of those things where you just have to play a little bit before you really get the hang of it. So this is another flowing. I'm just going to let play on a loop here. Maybe, Robin, if you want to share some of your perspective about what it was like in Gilbert, Arizona to do this type of work.
Well, the fact that we had that big catch-a-thon in 2019 and did over a weekend what was equal to 3 months worth of research, that really meant a lot to us. And we had one person that wanted to contribute because, they thought Alzheimer's was a disease they wanted to help find a cure for. So, there's lots of reasons people get involved, and it's a great way to contribute, and you can do it from your own home too. If it's a bad weather day out, turn it on and go.
Well said, Robin. So what do we think? Do you all think this is stalled or flowing in the circled area? This is a big circled area, bigger than what they usually have. But we're kind of watching this entire blood vessel go.
So
Robin, what do you think?
When I look at that, I see like so many lines. So that's so many different vessels.
Yeah, usually
I'm not sure which one, how do we know which one are we supposed to be focusing on?
You should kind of give it all a quick look. What helps me is to slow it down a little bit. Usually they have the circled areas a little bit smaller than this. This is a little bit bigger than usual. But you should probably look at the biggest one in the circled area first. That's usually a technique that works for me. This one's flowing. I don't see any persistent black spots that aren't moving.
That's what I would say too, flowing.
Oh no, it's stalled. We're wrong.
Gosh. And that red spot shows, so they were looking at that one. Interesting.
Yeah, well, that's why we have the power of the crowd here. But yeah, when you're looking at that circled area, kind of give the whole thing a scan. That's what helps. Usually there aren't this many blood vessels in a circle area. This is a little bit bigger than usual. But yeah, try to hone in on like the bigger blood vessels in there. That's usually the first thing you should look at, but also give the smaller ones a scan too for any persistent non-moving black spots. Okay, let's try it. And the qualities of the videos really vary because that's just how research works. This would happen to you in the lab too. This is a horrible one, but I'm pretty sure it's flowing. Yep, I'm right. Cool. Being wrong at stall catchers every once in a while keeps me humble. Even though I've played it for a little while, I'm not perfect. I still have to rely on that power of the crowd for sure. What do you think for this one, Kimmy and Robin? Do you think it's stalled or flowing?
I don't know, kind of just below your cursor. Is that a stall?
Let's slow it down.
I see some black.
And sometimes that's because the blood vessels are at different depths within the video.
Robin, you've become a stall catcher's expert.
Wow. And what's really interesting, we've been at events and watched children with their parents work on this, and the kids have done an amazing job.
That is so true. And stall catchers is actually how I met Robin. She was a librarian in Gilbert, Arizona, and her library came on board to help with stall catchers. And the rest is history. Now Robin is training other libraries in stall catchers in other communities, which I think is so cool.
Yeah, I think this one would be good for the students.
Students love this one. And actually, I'm going to try to find it. There's a blog post that stall catchers did a while back. And you can also see how wholesome the community is. Like Evelyn, one of their super catchers, passed away recently, and they did like a lovely tribute to her. I mentioned that they explained research results. So here's one of them that is really a word sandwich of science. High-fat diet worsens Alzheimer's disease-related behavioral abnormalities and neuropathology in APP/PS1 mice, but not by synergistically decreasing cerebral blood flow. Which means you helped discover that a high-fat diet increases the severity of Alzheimer's in mice, but not by increasing the frequency of stalls. plain English as opposed to but yeah, Nature is one of the most important journals in science, and stall catchers, they published that article, and all the stall catchers who contributed to it were listed as co-authors. So that includes like middle school students who may have helped with it. That includes retirees who may have helped with it, people of all ages, which I think is amazing. But I'm going to actually stop sharing my screen for a sec because there was an article about, I remember when these middle schoolers they like basically like annotated a whole data set by themselves. I'm going to try to find it. It was like 2 years ago. It was the coolest thing. Yeah, here it is. I found the article. Trophy marks new era for citizen science in the classroom. Yeah, so these middle schoolers, they did a competition and they really excelled and did a bunch of research, and they were given a trophy for their citizen science work. 250 middle schoolers came together and they beat all the other worldwide stall catchers teams. And Dr. Michelucci said, the 250 students at Lake Hazel Middle School who continued to play stall catchers today have effectively mainstreamed citizen science, showing that anyone and everyone can make a difference in the world through scientific engagement. Oh, I just love that.
That is so cool.
Yes, and that could be you all, the St. Charles community. It's really egalitarian, so you all could create a team and compete against people from Nigeria, or compete against people from Los Angeles. Like, it's just so global. So you all, it just depends on how much you want to do, and you could really be part of research in a big way, or in a small way. You can go at your own pace. It all matters. All right, let's do one more video, and I want to see the people in the chat voting. What do you all think? Stalled or flowing? Do you see any persistent black spots in the flow of white that don't move? Get those votes in. Robin, what do you think?
I kind of want to say in the center there's a stall, but again, it might be the level at which that vessel's at.
Ooh, yeah, I see what you're saying, like right there.
Well, yeah, right in there. So what, Caroline,
But even going down too, that one going down isn't, I don't know, I would say stalled, but.
I'm going to go with Kimmy. I think Kimmy knows what she's talking about. You're correct.
Yay.
I love it.
Yeah.
Let's do one more. All right, what do we think, team? Stalled or flowing? Do we see any persistent black spots in the flow of white that never become white, that just don't move?
No, that looks like flowing to me.
Yeah, me too.
That's a slam dunk, I think. Totally flowing. We are correct. We're getting so many points. But any questions on stall catchers before we move on? I think it just shows that it's simple steps, and once you learn how to recognize these and get the hang of it, you can really make a big impact on the research community. And you're stronger together. You're stronger in a team. Great. If we don't have any more questions, I think we'll kind of wrap things up here. So for those of you who were here yesterday, you saw this, but I just want to reiterate that the St. Charles Library does have the Field Guide to Citizen Science. This is SciStarter's book. Stall catchers and IC Change are both mentioned in the book. And if you're not part of the St. Charles system, a lot of libraries have in their e-reading service, be it like Hoopla or Libby, are in their local catalog. So please just try to find this book. I think it's a really great resource, and it can help you join the Citizen Science Brigade and start making a difference. So it's a really fun read. And in conclusion, we made a survey. We're just trying to make our events better and better. And we love to keep on working with people like Kimmy and different libraries. So if you all fill out the survey, it helps give us feedback about how we're doing and how we can be better. So in conclusion, I just want you all to know that Citizen Science has online, at-home, or near-home projects for everyone. You can discover those on a list that Kimmy made to be part of her team and get some citizen science done. And we also would really like you to take that survey. I'll just go back a slide to help us know how we're doing. Any final thoughts from Kimmy and Robin?
No, just thank you very much for joining. And I hope that you visit, the SciStarter website and explore or browse some different projects in your area or whatever interests you. There really is projects for everybody.
Well said. And Kimmy, if you want to go ahead and make a stall catchers team for your library, we can get that listed on your
I think that would be
SciStarter list.
fun. We're going to go after that LA team.
Yes. Oh my gosh. If you guys beat LA, that would be what we call an upset in the sports world, because they
Yeah.
already have such a large lead, but I bet you could beat them. Don't tell Vivian I said that, Robin.
No, I won't.
Just kidding. She might see this recording, but it's all in good fun. It's friendly competition. We're all in it for the same reason, to do research. Great, great, great. Well, I think we'll end it here, unless, Robin, do you have any closing words for us?
No, the more you do, the more you want to do. So I would just say, get involved and have fun. Pick the projects that really mean something to you or your community.
And Virginia said in the chat, I accept the challenge for stall catchers. Yes, Virginia.
Yes.
All right. Well, I think we'll call it a night. Kimmy, I look forward to seeing you online sometime soon, perhaps in the stall catchers chat box. Thank you so much for being an amazing partner. And thank you for Robin, as always, for making these events happen. See you all soon.